about to begin. Please take your seat and remain seated throughout the program. ceremony is about to begin. Please take your seat and remain seated throughout the program. Begin in 1 minute. Welcome to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Before we begin the celebration, we would like to remind everyone attending to please remain respectful of fellow attendees and our speakers. Additionally, the Campus Free Speech Act, enacted in 2017, requires us to assure that audience members may see and hear the event and that scheduled speakers are not disrupted. Participants may not interrupt the scheduled speakers or display signs that prevent others from seeing the event. Those who do not adhere to these requirements will be asked to leave. Anyone who does not leave when asked or does not put down signs which obstruct the audience view will be removed and arrested. University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Join us as we welcome back the class of 1974 as they celebrate their 50th anniversary.
Another cup of wine.
the video boards.
Class of 2024, welcome to our first official in-person graduation ceremony.
We've come a long way since our unique first year.
In the beginning, we didn't get the typical college experience.
But during that time of uncertainty,
when a pandemic disrupted our way of life,
We adapted.
We persevered.
We thrived.
and we rose to meet each challenge the Carolina way.
We created connections in a time of disconnection.
we remained curious and dedicated to our studies and research.
We supported our Chapel Hill community.
And eventually,
We went from Small Fest to Fall Fest.
From social distancing to socializing.
From remote to rushing Franklin Street.
We eagerly watched our community regain its vibrance.
and through it all,
We are still
The University of National Champions.
Whether it's on the court,
In the classroom,
Or in our communities.
Carolina prepared us to tackle challenges head on.
not just to overcome, but to excel.
to showcase the great moments through the bad ones.
to face new chapters together.
and as we take our next steps into the future,
We know that no matter what comes our way,
we can always call Carolina home.
Go Heels.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Interim Chancellor Lee Roberts and distinguished members of the platform party and faculty led by Faculty Marshal Jay Eichert.
Good evening. Welcome to the Class of 2024 commencement exercises for the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Please stand as cadets and midshipmen of the Army and Navy Reserve Officers Training Corps units at UNC-Chapel Hill present the colors. And then let's join together in song as Isabel Rose Kosempa, a music major from Durham, North Carolina, leads us in the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Please be seated. Every graduating class deserves a day of celebration and reflection, and this one more than most. Many of you missed out on high school graduation, on the rights and recognition that normally mark the transition into college. You bore the brunt of the pandemic lockdowns. And then you found ways to rekindle public life at Carolina after it was brought to a standstill. And now you're here, standing in this gorgeous place and surrounded by people who so earnestly want the rest of your days to be full and fulfilling. I am one of those hopeful admirers, and I'm honored to stand with you. I've had the chance to meet with a wide range of graduates recently. First-generation students, student athletes, veterans, so many others. My wife Liza and I have a number of high school and college graduations in our family. We know how important this ceremony is. To the graduates, you've shown incredible commitment and curiosity to arrive at this point. You know, it's always tempting to think we've lived through unprecedented times, faced unprecedented challenges, seen the world change in ways that no one has experienced before. But there's confidence in knowing that generations of students have stood where you stand, faced challenges equal to yours, and thrived just as you will. That's because Carolina was born in a moment of upheaval, and it has seen plenty more since. This university was created in the early days of the American experiment, when the arguments over the foundational ideas of this nation were just getting started. Those arguments have never stopped, and that's exactly why we need this university of the people, this place where all are welcome to think, to learn, and to argue for their vision of progress. Being the university of the people is not always easy, especially when the people are not of one mind, and they never are. Being the university of the people means that we contain all that is great and all that is troubling about our society. It means that Carolina doesn't belong to you. It sure doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to any one person or group. This university is something we share, just as we share our remarkable state. And we hold it in trust for the generations who will come after us. Sharing doesn't come easily. I speak from some experience here as a father of three, and as a husband, and of course, as a citizen of this great and vibrant and diverse nation. But almost everything worth doing in life is the product of shared effort. Your family, your professional achievements, your friendships, and your civic commitments. All of those good and glorious things take compromise, sacrifices, big and small, and a healthy recognition that your view of the world is but one among many. It means balancing passion and conviction with humility, grace, and respect. None of those things are simple, and we should all be willing to acknowledge when we're uncertain, when the right and righteous path is not clear. But you can do so with confidence, the confidence and certainty that your time here, the relationships you've built, and the skills you've gained have prepared you to enter a world of uncertainty. When Bill Friday was president, seeing the university through a period of great unrest in the late 1960s, early 1970s, he kept faith with our core mission. The university's job, he wrote, is to provide our students the knowledge, skills, and sense of purpose with which to live in this troubled world. That is the test we shall have to meet. That's as true today as it was then. You all stand here as proof that we're still meeting that test, and we always will. So, class of 2024, no matter where your next steps take you, take them confidently and leave your heel print on this world. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce my distinguished colleagues on the platform. I will call their names, ask them to stand, and remain standing. Please hold your applause until I have recognized everyone. Chris Clemens, Provost. Amy Locklear-Hertel, Executive Vice Provost and Chair of the Commencement Committee. Amy Johnson, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Lauren DeGrazia, University Registrar. Jill Moore, Secretary of the Faculty. Katie Musgrove, Chair of the Employee Forum. Lauren Hawkinson, President of the Graduate and Professional Student Government. Dorothy Salenti, Clinical Professor of Maternal and Child Health. Allison Friedman, Executive Director of Carolina Performing Arts. Robert Joyce, Professor of Law and Government. Jay Ikut, Vice Dean of the School of Data Science and Faculty Marshal. Deans of the schools and college. Dean Jim White, College of Arts and Sciences. Dean Martin Brinkley, School of Law. Dean Wesley Burks, School of Medicine. Dean Fuad Abd El-Khaliq, School of Education. Dean Angela Kashuba, Eshelman School of Pharmacy. Dean Beth Mayer Davis, the Graduate School. Dean Mary Margaret Frank, Kenan Flagler Business School. Dean Raul Rice, Hussman School of Media and Journalism. Dean Jeffrey Bardzell, School of Information and Library Science. Dean Nancy Messonnier, Gilling School of Global Public Health. Executive Vice Dean Ed Swift, Adams School of Dentistry. Dean Valerie Howard, School of Nursing. Dean Amy Wall, School of Government. And Dean Jed Atkins, School of Civic Life and Leadership. Members of Carolina's Board of Trustees: Jim Blaine, David Bullock, Brad Briner, Rob Bryan, Perrin Jones, Vimal Kalapa, Vinay Patel, Ramsey White, Christopher Everett. Also on the stage are your senior class officers, Lauren Lovett and Phil Vo. There are many constituencies that make up this great university, and with us today are representatives to bring greetings. Representing the Board of Governors is Governor Reginald Holly. Representing the Board of Trustees is Chair John Pryor. Representing Carolina Alumni is President Veronica Flaspohler. Representing the faculty, Chair Beth Baracco. We begin with Governor Holly.
Esteemed members of the class of 24, His Excellency and the good Chancellor, Mr. Roberts, the illustrious Chair of Trustees, Mr. Pryor, and his distinguished board colleagues, celebrated commencement speaker, and Carolina alumni, Ms. Cardman, and of course, this most gracious university community. Thank you for allowing me to visit you in the stead of my colleague, Governor Gene Davis, who was called away on a family matter. And I'm also privileged to share the dais with such student luminaries as Senior Class President Lovett and Student Body President Everett. On behalf of the UNC Board of Governors and UNC System President Peter Hans, I come humbly to this magical place, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, to offer greetings and stand in the great witness of this momentous occasion. My colleagues on the Board of Governors, including our chairman, Randy Ramsey, join me in expressing how immensely proud we are of each of you. I too had the honor of graduating from this magical place. Being a member of this university community changed my life and the life of my family. In that way, graduates, although you and I have never met, as alumni, we are bound together as a part of this august and magnificent university community. As alumnus Charles Corral so eloquently opined, what is it that binds us to this place as to no other? It is not the well, or the bell, or the stone walls, or the crisp October nights, or the memory of dogwoods blooming. Rather, our love for this place is based on the fact that it is, as it was meant to be, the university of the people. Perhaps you arrived in Chapel Hill from rural North Carolina, or some hamlet in the state, or one of North Carolina's thriving cities, or perhaps you arrived from New York City, or from a distant land. Wherever you are from, this I know: you worked hard by day and by night, often under the inconveniences of life, to gain knowledge, to advance yourself and your family, to prepare yourself to make better your community, your state, your nation, and yes, this place called world. That's what binds us together. That's what it means to be a part of the university of the people. We honor you today, the dedicated scholars in the class of 24 who have reached this momentous milestone in their academic journeys. I view an academic journey as a marathon, and I take inspiration in wise words written long ago by King Solomon. The race is not given to the swift or to the strong, but to the one who endureth until the end. Graduates, you have endured until the end. You have finished the race, and today we celebrate this tremendous accomplishment. We find in life that as one race ends, another begins. which is why I believe it is essential that we pause to celebrate the completion of each race along the way, that there is ceremony and ritual that transitions us from one race to another, from one place to another. I encourage you to rightfully rejoice in the ritual and ceremony of this moment, for you have earned it. And you and those who have labored with you all along the way, deserve this moment to remember always. I'm truly honored and incredibly proud to be with you for this ritual, for this ceremony, for this celebration. I celebrate the rich history of this magical university. I celebrate the many accomplishments of this extraordinary community. And most of all, I celebrate each of you, the graduating class of 24. Congratulations, fellow Tar Heels. Oh, but I'm not finished yet. You know, as we celebrate commencement, it's important to recognize the contributions of the world-renowned faculty here at Carolina. It is my privilege today to present this year's Board of Governors Award for Excellence in Teaching. This award was established by the Board of Governors in 1994 and is presented annually to a faculty from each UNC system campus. This year's recipient from UNC-Chapel Hill is Dr. Florence Dorr, and I want you to know that this lady is bad to the bone. So if you will, good Chancellor, Mr. Roberts, good Dr. Dorr, if you will join me at the dais here. Indulge me just a moment as I present. Dr. Florence Dorr has been a faculty member in Carolina's Department of English and Comparative Literature for 14 years. She teaches in both the creative writing and literature programs, including a popular songwriting class that allows her to combine her twin passions for literature and rock and roll. In addition to being a scholar of American fiction, Dr. Dorr is also a gifted songwriter and vocalist who has released 3 records. 2 years ago, she launched Ink in the Groves Live, a traveling public humanities program that found her traversing the U.S. performing in rock venues and giving talks on vernacular music and civic belongings. A consistent thread in Professor Dorr's work as both a teacher, and let me add, a master teacher, and a musician is the high level of enthusiasm, creativity, passion that she imparts to her students. Professor Dorr, for your passion, and yes, your commitment to students and to the art of teaching, we celebrate your outstanding professional achievements as you continue to inspire your students to achieve their goals inside and outside the classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a professor, an educator, and a master teacher, bad to the bone. My honor to present the Excellence in Teaching Award to Dr. Dorr.
Thank you so much, Governor Holly. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to welcome everyone here to the #1 public university in the world, North Carolina. We're also fortunate to have the #1 university police department in the world. No. These are the people who keep everybody safe, and you should show them some respect. So let's have a round of applause for our university police. And anybody that has spent time, even just a few minutes earlier today, walking around our campus, you know well, we have the #1 most beautiful campus of any school in the world. So please give a round of applause to all of our facilities and groundskeeping crews that have worked so hard to make this campus so beautiful. And I want to congratulate all of you on your remarkable accomplishment. And as one who took 5 fun-filled years to get through as an undergrad, I'm very impressed with this accomplishment. I went straight to work after my last exam and did not attend my own graduation, so this is the first one I have ever attended. And how very fitting that is at night and at cocktail hour. The reason I was so excited to start my job and skip graduation is because I knew I had great mentors that I was going to be working with, I would learn from, and I wanted to be around, so I couldn't wait to start work. Those of you who are about to begin your careers in the work world will have a big advantage with a Carolina degree. It's respected all over the world. But to a great extent, your success will be determined by how hard you are willing to work and by who you work around. So here's one bit of advice for all of you, and if you don't remember anything that I say tonight, just remember this. In your job, whatever it is you choose to do, if you don't have a great boss or a great mentor that you respect and trust, and who in turn values you, sees potential in you, and wants to help you develop, then go find one. Don't hesitate to do it, because it will very likely change your life. I wish you all the great success and happiness in the future. Congratulations, and go Heels.
Greetings, fellow Tar Heels and soon-to-be Carolina alumni. I'm Veronica Flass-Puller, the proud president of UNC's 180-year-old Alumni Association, now known as Carolina Alumni. I'm here to tell you that while the degree you've just earned is a remarkable achievement and something you should cherish, it's not the only life-changing thing you're taking away from your time at Carolina. There's something equally valuable and enduring that you'll bring with you from this day onward. Something just as likely to open doors and shape your life for the better. And that, of course, is the deep connection you now share with your fellow Tar Heels. Think of all the friends, the mentors, the teammates and classmates, the networks and relationships you've built during your time here. Those late nights of studying mattered a lot, but so too did those late nights of talking, dancing, flirting, arguing, and getting to know the people going on this ride with you. All of those people, the ones you see here today, and the hundreds of thousands more who stood right where you're standing right now, are part of a remarkable community of Tar Heels. They all share a love of this place, a respect for their fellow graduates, and an eagerness to do right by the students who will follow in their path. The more you strengthen those bonds of friendship with your fellow Tar Heels, the more you embrace your lifelong ties to this place and all those who love it, the richer your life will be. That's certainly been true for me. Carolina opened its arms to me, an immigrant to this country, a first-generation college student. It gave me a great education, a promising career, and now a chance to come back and do my dream job. I couldn't be more grateful. But Carolina is also where I met my husband. It's where I formed some of the deepest and most meaningful relationships of my life. It's where I learned that good and important work almost always happens alongside other people. Every week, I meet Carolina graduates who are doing fantastically interesting things in the world and finding support from their alumni. I'm so excited for you to join them. Congratulations, Carolina students, and welcome, Carolina alumni.
Good evening, soon-to-be Carolina graduates, family members, loved ones, and friends. Interim Chancellor Roberts, Provost Clemens, colleagues, and esteemed guests. I'm Beth Morocco, a faculty member at the Gillings School of Global Public Health and the chair of the faculty. And on behalf of the over 4,000 members of the UNC-Chapel Hill faculty, I bring you greetings and hearty congratulations. The class of 2024 is no typical cohort. For many of you, your senior year of high school was cut short, and those usual rites of passage like prom and graduation were altered. During your time here at Carolina, you've also faced extraordinary challenges. The worst pandemic in a century, tragic events here on our campus, a national and yet unfinished racial reckoning, and global violence and turmoil that has roiled campuses across the country. In the face of these challenges, you have demonstrated resiliency, courage, adaptability, and grace. As faculty, we have journeyed alongside you as your teachers, your mentors, your supervisors, and team members, and we have borne witness to the hard work that has brought you to this day, and the tenacity that has gotten you where you are. We know that you will use those critical thinking skills that you honed here to address the pressing issues of the day and to shape the world in ways that we can only imagine. You inspire us. We believe in you, and we are so proud of you. Of course, in addition to these challenges, there are also the priceless memories that you've made and the relationships that you've developed in our beloved campus community. I encourage you to hold fast to them. Stay connected to Carolina and to your fellow alumni. Just about anywhere in the world that you go, you will run into a fellow Tar Heel, and you will immediately have a shared language. You will always be connected to this place and the people here, as well as Tar Heels past, present, and future. And finally, because it is commencement, and you've already gotten a lot of advice and inspirational quotes and admonishments to ignite your passions, follow your dreams, change the world, and you really should do all of those things. I ask that you also consider practicing radical empathy. Developed by McGill University political science professor Terry Gibbons, radical empathy expands the conventional definition of empathy, or understanding another person's point of view, or being able to walk in someone else's shoes. And it also requires a willingness to be vulnerable, become grounded in who you are, open yourself to others' experiences, practice empathy, and here's the radical part: using empathy for taking action, creating change, and building trust. So many of the challenges that are facing us today would benefit from us approaching them with radical empathy. I trust that during your time here at Carolina, working with us, the faculty, that we have helped equip you with the tools for practicing radical empathy, and I urge you to use them. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Morocco. Zena Cardman is a NASA astronaut from Williamsburg, Virginia, who got her start at Carolina. Cardman earned a Bachelor of Science in Biology and Master of Science in Marine Sciences from UNC-Chapel Hill. And now she's in the middle of training for her first space flight. Cardman was selected as a NASA astronaut in 2017. Since completing her initial training, she has supported real-time station operations and development for lunar surface exploration. She will lead as commander of NASA's Crew 9 mission. Her 4-person crew will join the International Space Station later this year. They will conduct a wide range of operational and research activities during their long-duration mission. During her time at Carolina, Cardman was heavily involved in research of microbial systems, particularly in extreme environments. Her research took her all over the world, including the Arctic and the Antarctic, and we're extremely lucky to have her return to Chapel Hill before she heads out of this world. Please join me in welcoming your commencement speaker, Zena Cardman.
Carolina, my goodness, it is so good to be home. This is incredible to see you here. This may also be the first time I will leave Kenan Stadium without a sunburn. I am so humbled to stand in front of this many Tar Heels, especially a class that has shown resilience, grit, and a deep sense of service and moral conviction to match your academic brilliance. You made it through a pandemic, lockdowns, tragedy, and upheaval, and you still work together in advocacy for greater causes and for those who do not have a voice. You have made injustice your enemy. You lift each other up. That is a Carolina legacy I am honored to be part of. I am in awe, too, of today's honorary degree recipients whose contributions to the arts, human rights, and public service have truly changed the world on local and global scales. Class of 2024, you inspire me. To the entire class, to your families, friends, chosen families, and all who support you, this day is yours. If you're at all like I was at my college graduation, you are proud, you are full of hope, you are also exhausted and a bit scared. For all the opportunity that lies ahead, new beginnings always come with a great deal of uncertainty. Either way, what's probably really on your mind in this moment is that standing between you and a proper celebration is this commencement address. In August, my crew and I will climb atop a 200-foot tall rocket filled with 1 million pounds of fuel and oxidizer. In about 75 seconds after liftoff, that rocket will be 10 kilometers that way, passing through maximum dynamic pressure, becoming supersonic. In less than 10 minutes, we'll be in orbit, traveling 5 miles per second, chasing down a space station where we will live and work for 6 months. So, with that context, I have to tell you, truthfully, that giving this speech is the most terrifying thing I will do this year. Carolina, I know you can accomplish great things because you already have, and you don't need my advice. I will only suggest that the definition of great things, of success or fulfillment, is entirely up to you, and the path won't always be obvious. The best journeys begin at Carolina, and mine did too. I was drawn to studying biology, which I didn't exactly see as a clear path to NASA, but it was the only subject I knew I loved. Even then, I kept getting distracted, spending arguably too much time in other departments or off campus, gathering experiences and really a lot of mud from a various obscure corner of the planet. I often assumed all of this was actually drawing me farther from a notional goal of someday flying in space. So at some point, I had to separate using that goal as motivation from letting the goal be my definition of success. I feel very lucky that despite, or maybe because of my unconventional academic choices, I got this opportunity to work at NASA and to be part of something much bigger than myself. I felt at home in my new job, but I still struggled to define what success or failure was going to mean for myself. As a student, the easy definition of success is graduating. As an astronaut, the easy definition is flying to space, but it can be a long wait. My first assignment came in the role of backup crew member. The prime crew included my classmate, and my mission was to get all the training she got so that if something happened, I could take her place. Some well-intentioned friends asked how I might plot sabotage so that I could fly, but those were hollow jokes. If your goal requires cutting down someone else to get there, you need a different goal. The real gift of this assignment as a backup was the chance to redefine success on my own terms, and it didn't need to rely on me launching. In fact, my chosen definition of success in this case meant explicitly me not launching. In this supporting role, I found a greater sense of purpose than I had in any other role. Her launch is still my favorite launch I've ever seen. I did eventually get my own flight assignment. I'll be flying as the commander of Crew 9, though many voices, including my own, many voices have pointed out that I am young, I am a rookie, I am a civilian, I am not a test pilot, but I haven't allowed myself time to dwell on insecurities because there's so much to learn. Engineering systems, emergency procedures, robotics, launch vehicles, mechanical repair, spacewalking, and, most importantly, how to live and work together when the stakes are real. In my world, trust and empathy are critical technical abilities. Expeditionary skills like that can be practiced in the wilderness, and so NASA has long facilitated sending its crews on courses with NOLS, the National Outdoor Leadership School, in part because we understand the value of being uncomfortable together. I love the opportunity to build team skills through challenge like this, while also strengthening a relationship with the natural world and this planet that, as astronauts, we are working so apparently hard to leave. I had been on NOLS courses before, and it was the only training that I requested as must-have for my crew. The first NOLS trip I ever went on was with my classmates as new astronauts. We went to the Canyonlands in Utah, where huge sculptural cliffs make the place look an awful lot like the surface of Mars, except for the juniper and the scorpions. It's a tough environment for heavy backpacking, and it did not take long for a third of us to rip holes in the seats of our pants. The days were full of stories and laughter, and also blisters and low morale. Water is not abundant without hiking or rappelling down into the canyons, and so we mostly scooped rainwater from shallow, silty puddles in the slick rock, using the lids of our water bottles as ladles. Sometimes, what you have been missing suddenly finds its way to you in overabundance, and indeed, we got caught one evening in an epic thunderstorm. We put on rain gear, which for most of us was a jacket and pants, except for my classmate Johnny, who had with him what I would call a tactical poncho. Johnny was a Navy SEAL earlier in his career. He's well acquainted with physical discomfort, an expert in the field, and the kind of person you can count on, no matter how early you've woken up, to somehow have already made coffee for his tent mates. That night after dinner, with rain still pouring down, we were hunkered under a rocky overhang, grumpy that our last pair of dry socks were no longer dry, just trying to stay warm. And there was Johnny, out in the rain, doing the dishes in his tactical forest camo poncho. He was holding the extra fabric of the poncho in front of him, using it to funnel an incredible volume of rain directly into the cooking pots. Caught in the light of a headlamp, he grinned and said, "Look at all this free water." It was such a pure moment, and one I think of often. In times of uncertainty and discomfort, choosing optimism and humor can change your whole mood in an instant. More importantly, it can lift an entire group. The effect you have on others is one of your most potent gifts. Your impact on the world comes from small moments like that one, simple daily choices integrated over a lifetime. My crew had our NOLS course in December, this time in the middle of Wyoming. The Continental Divide in winter is beautiful and chilly. There's plenty of free water, it's just all frozen. We slept in shelters carved with shovels from giant piles of snow. We cooked dinners on countertops made of snow, and we even wiped our butts with snowballs. I wish I was kidding. Unless you were feeling really fancy, and then you might use one precious and meticulously folded wet wipe. If you're smarter than I am, you sleep with your little pack of wet wipes inside your sleeping bag, because wiping your butt with a frozen solid wet wipe, I assure you, is actually way less comfortable than just using the snowball. The easiest way to transport your stuff in an environment like this is hauling most of it on a sled, attached to your hips with a harness. As you walk, you drag the sled along with you, and its weight packs the snow beneath it. The next person in line follows your sled, and their sled in turn packs the snow just a little bit more. A trail starts to form behind you as you walk. Physically, the hardest job is up front, so we took turns breaking trail. Sometimes the ground was flat, and I could go for a long time at the front of the line. Sometimes the terrain was steep, and I could barely manage breaking trail for one hill. The real work happened at night around the campfire, when we could set down the sleds and enjoy the luxury of time to share stories and get to truly know our teammates. In this setting, breaking trail is the choice to open up to each other, to address conflict, misunderstandings, or insecurities, to share praise, to ask questions, and to listen. One person's vulnerability inspired the next person to share theirs. We learned what our teammates were really carrying in their sleds, the heavy intangibles besides food and sleeping bags. And to have our stories really heard by the team began to lighten our load day by day. I would love to tell you that we climbed a mountain in this manner, that there was some tremendous physical allegory for us to overcome, and through teamwork and determination, we managed to reach the summit. But that's not what happened. After what felt like many days of enormous effort, we checked the map and began to realize we'd barely gone a few miles. When we reemerged from the woods, the spot where we'd been dropped off wasn't even out of view around the curve of a nondescript road. More snow has fallen since then, covering our tracks, and by the time we launch, the snow will have completely melted, and there will be no sign at all of what we did, except in the ways we changed each other. It was never about the distance or the altitude. It was about building trust and connection. I'm so grateful that I got to know my crew in that setting, and now I get to fly to space with my friends and my heroes. We have the privilege of taking on something hard together, but it's going to be easy because my crew are as selfless, humble, and supportive as they are technically capable. Our care for each other will define success for our mission to the International Space Station more than any spacewalk or experiment. I think the only thing that scares me now is having to eventually come home. Success is yours to define, and your team is yours to build. Even if you aren't sure what you want to become, you already know who you are. You know your values, what brings you joy, what questions make you curious. You know the people who matter to you. The most important things you'll do may not ever go on a resume and will often be thankless. My mom is in the audience today and can probably attest to that. She was a trailblazer and made the path easier for me. You all have so much possibility ahead, a huge field of untouched snow and unlimited paths to take. If you want to be a trailblazer, just start walking. You don't actually have to know where you're going if you know who you're doing it for. And the most transformative journeys often don't take you very far at all. There will be some flat terrain, some steep terrain, and an unknown number of icy streams to cross. You've probably already learned that some people carry more than they're able to in their sleds. Some carry less than they should. Your own sled will get stuck sometimes. Other days it will feel light. You are not alone. You will need help, and you will give help. You will take turns leading and following. You are already experts at navigating unexpected topographies that were not even on the map, and your work will make the trail easier for many who come after you. Class of 2024, I am so proud of you. Part of your story will always be here, and I cannot wait to see where the journey takes you. Thank you for sharing this day with me. Congratulations, and go Heels.
Thank you, Astronaut Cardman. Commencement is an opportunity for us to recognize extraordinary and accomplished individuals who embody the mission of this great institution and inspire us all. Each year, the faculty selects and the Board of Trustees award these individuals for distinguished service to the university, the state, the nation, and the world. Upon these individuals, we are privileged to confer honorary degrees in recognition of their exemplary achievement and impact. I call upon Provost Chris Clemens to lead the ceremony, and Jill Moore, Secretary of the Faculty, to come forward to read each citation.
Interim Chancellor Roberts, I have the honor to present Michelle Dorrance, who has been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Doctor of Arts.
Michelle Dorrance is a world-renowned dancer and choreographer who has been described by The New Yorker as one of the most imaginative tap choreographers working today. Dorrance has said that to be a professional tap dancer is to be a historian. Her New York-based company, Dorrance Dance, honors tap dance's uniquely beautiful history and tradition in the enslaved and immigrant communities of America, while simultaneously pushing the boundaries of the art form technically, rhythmically, and conceptually. Dorrance is a native of Chapel Hill, and she's an alumna of the North Carolina Youth Tap Ensemble, and she's maintained her strong local connections, including here at UNC, where her company has been featured in multiple Carolina Performing Arts seasons, and she's also performed and lectured for our students. Dorrance's many awards and honors include the MacArthur Foundation's Genius Grant, the New York Dance and Performance Award, also known as the Bessie, and the Jacobs Pillow Dance Award. For outstanding accomplishment in dance and choreography, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill is pleased to confer upon Michelle Chantal Dorrance the degree of Doctor of Arts, honoris causa.
Interim Chancellor Roberts, I have the honor to present Dietrich Epps, who has been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Doctor of Laws.
Dietrich Epps is a champion of pursuing equity and community well-being through education and technical assistance for health, human services, and education leaders. She is a founder and CEO of Race for Equity, a Durham-based organization that helps nonprofits, government agencies, and other groups strengthen their leadership capacity and cultural responsiveness. A graduate of Howard University and Coppin State University, Epps began her career as a co-founder, director, and assistant dean for education for Vision Christian Academy and Child Development Center in Baltimore. She went on to become a dynamic and culturally responsive leader whose work spans the globe. She has facilitated cross-cultural conversations and provided capacity building for numerous public and private entities. Her current work focuses on promoting well-being by addressing the social determinants of health, including structural racism. She often partners with faculty and students at the Gilling School of Global Public Health to advance equitable, culturally competent strategies to improve long-term health. For outstanding accomplishment in public health, education, and community service, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill is pleased to confer on Dietrich Allen Epps the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Interim Chancellor Roberts, I have the honor to present Howard Lee, who has been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Doctor of Laws.
Howard Lee has rendered outstanding service to North Carolina for over 6 decades. The son of a Georgia sharecropper, Lee graduated from Fort Valley State College before earning a Master of Social Work at Carolina. In 1969, he was elected mayor of Chapel Hill, becoming the first African-American mayor of a majority-white southern city since Reconstruction. In 1977, he became State Secretary of Natural Resources and Community Development. In that role, he sparked the idea for North Carolina's state-spanning Mountains to Sea Trail. Lee served in the North Carolina Senate for a decade. He later served as chair of the State Board of Education, a member of the Utilities Commission, and as first executive director of the North Carolina Education Cabinet. He has served on the faculty of both UNC and North Carolina Central University and as an administrator at Duke. Throughout his career, Lee has been a strong advocate for education. In 2008, he published his memoir, The Courage to Lead, One Man's Journey in Public Service, which describes how he survived the Jim Crow South and broke racial barriers to achieve prominence. For outstanding accomplishment in public service, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill is pleased to confer on Howard N. Lee the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Interim Chancellor Roberts, I have the honor to present Richard Stevens, who has been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Doctor of Laws.
Richard Stevens is an attorney, a distinguished public servant, and a triple alumnus of UNC-Chapel Hill. He served for 16 years as the Wake County manager, overseeing a time of significant growth. He was then elected to the North Carolina Senate. During his 5 terms as senator, Stevens was the senior budget leader and was known for working across the aisle to assure effective governance. Stevens' service to Carolina spans decades. He has served on the UNC-Chapel Hill Board of Trustees, including 4 terms as chair. He has also served as the chair of the UNC-Chapel Hill Endowment Fund, UNC-Chapel Hill Foundation, UNC General Alumni Association, and Board of Visitors for the UNC Lineberger Comprehensive Cancer Center. Scholarships at the School of Law and the School of Government have been established in his honor. In 2017, Stevens received the university's Distinguished Alumnus Award. His many other awards include the Alumni Association's Distinguished Service Medal and the William Richardson Davey Award. For outstanding accomplishment in public service, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill is pleased to confer on Richard Yates Stevens the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Will all honorary degree recipients rise? By virtue of the authority vested in the University of North Carolina by the State of North Carolina and by the university entrusted to me, I hereby confer the said degrees upon you. I now call upon Provost Clemens to lead the official conferral of degrees.
Thank you, Interim Chancellor Roberts. Let's take a moment now to recognize our outstanding undergraduates. These seniors are exceptionally accomplished students who exemplified the highest possible level of undergraduate scholarship. Will the candidates of baccalaureate degrees with highest honors please rise and remain standing? Will the candidates of baccalaureate degrees with honors please rise and remain standing? Congratulations to each of you on this outstanding academic achievement. You may be seated. I now call upon the deans of the university in the order of the anniversary date of each college or school to present their candidates for doctoral, master's, and baccalaureate degrees. For the College of Arts and Sciences, Dean Jim White.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you recipients of degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences. Will these outstanding graduates please rise?
For the School of Law, Dean Martin Brinkley.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you the recipients of degrees in the School of Law. Will these graduates please rise?
For the School of Medicine, Dean Wesley Burks.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you the recipients of degrees in the School of Medicine. Will these graduates please rise?
For the School of Education, Dean Fuad Abdel Khalik.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you the recipients of degrees in the School of Education. Will these graduates please rise?
For the Eshelman School of Pharmacy, Dean Angela Kashuba.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you the recipients of degrees in the Eshelman School of Pharmacy. Will these graduates of the #1 pharmacy school in the nation please rise?
For the Graduate School, Dean Beth Meyer-Davis.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you the recipients of the Master's of Professional Science degree and the new Master of Applied Professional Studies degree. Will these graduates please rise?
For the Kenan Flagler Business School, Dean Mary Margaret Frank.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you the recipients of the degrees in the Kenan Flagler Business School. Will these graduates please rise?
For the School of Social Work, Dean Ramona Denby Brinson.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you the recipients of degrees in the School of Social Work. Will these graduates please rise?
For the Husband School of Journalism and Media, Dean Raul Rice could not be with us, so I will present the class.
Chancellor Roberts,
I am pleased to present to you the recipients of degrees in the Hussman School of Journalism and Media. Will these candidates please rise? For the School of Information and Library Science, Dean Jeffrey Barzell.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you the recipients of degrees in the School of Information and Library Science. Will these graduates please rise?
For the Gillings Global School of Public Health, Dean Nancy Messonnier.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you the recipients of degrees in the Gillings Global School of Public Health, the #1 School of Public Health in the United States. Will these graduates please rise?
For the Adams School of Dentistry, Executive Vice Dean Ed Swift.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you the recipients of degrees in the Adams School of Dentistry. Will these graduates please rise?
For the School of Nursing, Dean Valerie Howard.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you the recipients of degrees in the most trusted profession from the School of Nursing. Will these graduates please rise?
For the School of Government, Dean Amy Wall.
Chancellor Roberts, I am pleased to present to you the recipients of degrees in the School of Government. Will these new public service leaders please rise?
Will all degree candidates please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in the University of North Carolina, by the state of North Carolina, and by the university entrusted to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree for which the faculty has certified you, together with all of the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining, and we offer our warmest congratulations. Please be seated. Congratulations, graduates. You now join the nearly 357,000 living alumni of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, a worldwide family you'll belong to for the rest of your lives. Before you turn those tassels and toss those caps, I'd ask you to do one more thing. Look around you. Look at your classmates next to you, your friends and family in the stands, your faculty here in front, and our university leaders here on the platform. We all want you to succeed, to dream big, and to change the world. There will be challenges, and you will face adversity in the years ahead. But know that the Tar Heel community will be here for you to pick you up and encourage you and remind you who you are. And we will be here to celebrate your successes. You are Tar Heels forever. I want to thank all of our staff and support teams across many departments who have worked tirelessly to make it possible for us to gather here today. Please join me in a round of applause for these dedicated Carolina employees. I now invite Lauren Lovett, President of the senior class, to say a few words on behalf of the class of 2024. Congratulations, and go Heels!
Hello, class of 2024. We did it! To those graduating and the family and friends joining us today, I just want to say how proud I am to be a part of the class of 24. Proud of everyone I have and haven't met. Our college experience has been out of the ordinary. We are the COVID class, and despite a pandemic and several other hardships throughout our years, we've made it. This day is exciting, nerve-wracking, and also a little scary. It's taken us 4 years to get here, but doesn't it also just feel like we were moving on campus for the first time? And now here we are in our caps and gowns at what is, for many of us, our first actual graduation ceremony. Whether you've got your future planned or you still don't know what you're doing after graduation, I want you to remember the future is in your hands. You have the tools, the experience, the education to do whatever it is you set your mind to. Don't get caught up in the what ifs. Don't be scared to go after what you want. And know that even though many of us are going to different places, you will always have the friends you made here and the support of so many other Tar Heels, past, present, and future. This class is the one that will make the change we want to see in our communities, in society. We are the future. That might be a lot of pressure, but just like everything else we've been through, we will step up to the challenge and succeed. So congratulations. Our time here might be ending, but we are and forever will be Tar Heels. Go Heels! But before we close today's ceremony, I would like to introduce the UNC Cliffhangers, who will perform Carolina on My Mind.
Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yes, I'm gone to Carolina. Karen, she's a silver sun. You best walk away and watch her shine. Watch her, watch the a silver tear appearing now, and I'm crying, hey, 'cause I'm gone to Carolina, my ain't no doubt in no one's mind that love's the finest thing around. She whispered something soft and kind. Hey babe, the sky's on fire and I'm dying, and I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yes, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. Dark and silent, late last night, I think I might have heard the highway calling. The geese in flight and dogs are biting. And all the signs that might be on and say I'm going, I'm gone to Carolina in all my doom. And the holy host of fathers standing round me. Still I'm on the dark side of the moon. And it feels like it goes on like this forever. You must forgive me. I'm gone to Carolina, yeah, my doom. In my mind, I'm gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? And it's just like a friend to hit me from behind. I'm gone to Carolina, in my mind. Gone to Carolina, gone to Carolina, say nice things about you when I'm gone. Won't you carry on without me when I'm gone?
Please direct your attention to the video awards.
We did it, Tar Heels.
As Vice President of the Class of 2024, I am privileged to lead you in moving your tassels from right to left, and then we will lead you in the cap toss, officially signifying our status.
Now, get up.
And get excited.
The countdown to our cap toss starts now.